Y'all ready to go?
Hang on. Yeah, I'm ready.
Gotta get in the zone. All right. Episode 8, Cheese Money Podcast, Halloween special. JGigs rocking the spooky background on theme for sure.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We're seeing red over here, so.
I'm seeing red.
Sure.
All right.
I was listening
Great
to
episode, guys.
your dog's itch in the background.
He is doing that.
Yeah.
Sounds uncomfortable.
Yeah. How y'all doing?
I'm good.
I feel good too. I feel all
Good
right.
week. You
10K
feel better?
subs on YouTube this week, baby.
Let's go. Let's go. That's dope. That's all right. You fucking ruined it. Congrats, man.
Thank you.
What's
Okay,
wrong with
I
your
had a moment.
face?
I swear you picked up a different coffee cup from the table, and then when it disappeared and you picked it back up, it was a different cup. I was like, what is he doing?
That'd be pretty good. Just the whole time, you're just like, hold on, wait a minute.
Yeah, I thought that was a very different cup.
Just
mean, we're
keeping
not-
like the hot coffee cup in my lap. I don't worry about it. It's okay.
We're also not going to mention that it says "Hot Mama" on the front of
Yeah,
it.
it does say hot mama.
God,
That's what I'm feeling. That's what I'm feeling frisky.
that's disgusting.
Wow.
Y'all got Halloween plans this year?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay. Sit at home.
I imagine we'll find something to do, but yeah, I guess it's kind of a weird year.
It is. It's a Saturday. Does Tay work?
No, she's off on Halloween. Well, I mean, we have plans. I'm just lying to you.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah,
But
awesome.
also, I think there's a wedding too, right? Isn't there a wedding on Saturday?
I don't know.
You're a bad
I'm sure
friend.
there are several.
Yeah.
No, I have a friend who has a wedding this weekend.
Who is that?
You don't have any friends that
Don't worry
aren't
about
us.
Okay. You're not going to hand out any candy to trick or treaters this year?
I don't imagine we'll have any.
Yeah. So I was thinking about that and how it's changed a lot since we did it and since, parents did it and everything. It's even before COVID happened, it's kind of evolved from going door to door to people more doing more of the in a one area where they sit out, decorate their trunks in their cars.
Oh yeah, like the
And
trunk or
hand
treat.
out, trunk or treat, or they hand out candy in one area instead of going around the whole neighborhood. It's a lot different than it was back in the day when you just went to a random stranger's house and they handed out goodies.
Yeah,
Because-
that was I feel like
Yes.
that was a lot more fun.
I still have
Trunk or
people come
treat
to my
sounds
house.
Stupid.
I still have kids coming to my house for candy.
But
Like just whenever.
like
Yeah,
a few weeks ago, or just like
I got two in the. Well, yeah.
Just like year round.
hmm
Are you gonna follow up on that? Or?
No, I'm saying y'all are saying kids don't trick or treat. I have kids coming to my house for
No one
candy.
said. No one said that.
no one trick or treats anymore. Nobody. People don't trick or treat anymore.
I'm telling you, it's not true. They do. I've seen it with my own eyes. I got two kids in my closet right now.
Wow.
Uh,
Well, it's under the impression that you can't trust anybody anymore, and people don't want their kids going, around the neighborhood picking up candy from strangers, which wasn't an issue back in the day.
Well, I think stuff's blown out of proportion. I think.
Oh, I completely agree, and that was kind of what the point I was getting at was that it's put into our minds that it's not safe to get candy from strangers.
Yeah,
It sounds terrible, but
I think for the most part, people are pretty decent.
Look, kids, it's safe. If a stranger offers you candy, get in the car with them.
from a windowless van. Just get in, hop in. They'll
It's
take
free
you to the-
candy. That's not going to happen when you get older.
But I
You
think
gotta
the
take advantage
concept
of
that
it.
people like put needles in chocolate bars, like that's so abstract.
That happened like 2 or 3 times, and people think that it happens all the
Did it
time.
really happen 2 or 3 times?
Yeah.
I'm
Like, I'm
sure
not
it's
saying
happened.
I mean, yeah, I'm not saying it's never happened, but most people aren't sociopaths. Like they're not
Sure.
spending their time filling Hershey's bars with needles.
Sure.
But
Yeah.
you know,
You do, playing the odds, you're definitely probably going to be okay. But I guess it begs the question,
roll those dice.
like,
You know,
if it's
Yeah.
possible, yeah, how even if the odds are very heavily in your favor, some people might just not want to roll those dice.
yeah, I can understand that, but then it's like, to what degree do you just not
Yeah,
drive
do
your
you
car
just-
anymore?
You just
know?
sit at home and
Yeah.
waste away.
Yeah.
Do you not drive your car handing out candy to children anymore? Or what is this?
Hey, no needles, kids.
Yeah. Man, and we used to stay out late too. Like going to like all the house. We went to basically the entire town of Bartlett getting candy, and would come home with just like half a pillowcase full of candy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
When
Did you have the legends of the houses that would like, there's this house in this place that gives out $20 bills, or there's this place that gives out full candy bars? You ever have any of those?
No.
No, not, and I'm sure he doesn't mean to that like extreme, but
No,
He said
there
it.
was
He
every
said it.
year there were rumors of there was this, somewhere in Midtown, there was supposedly in this gated community this house that would give out like $20 bills,
That's
but you couldn't
insane.
get in to do it. I'm sure it was bullshit.
It was
but-
very exclusive.
yeah,
yeah,
God.
yeah. You had to sneak in and trick or treat in there. It's, just dumb little shit people come up
I
with.
just imagine like people, like a group of like 8 kids come up and they're like, trick or treat, and they're expecting to get money, but they're like, God dang, that's 8 kids. I don't want to give out. I don't want to give out that much money.
Or they just, or they actually, instead of 20s, they give out 5s, and the kids are like, "What is this? It's like,
Yeah.
it's $5, you little bastard."
I just saw a kid get a $20 bill, and he's like, yeah, well, he was just with his like sibling, and that was it. Can't
I
just
walked
roll up.
14 miles through Midtown. I am 7 years old. You're gonna
Or
give me a 20.
You're also rolling like 6 kids deep. So here's a dollar bill. Get the hell out of here.
Here's a 20, y'all split it.
Yeah.
There was a
Excuse me,
house in my
please.
neighborhood when I was little. The guy would always be gone for Halloween, but he had these 2 huge barrels that he would put outside,
Oh wow.
full of candy, and just a sign on it, just like, take what you want. There was so much there that it didn't matter if you shoveled a
Right.
bunch of it in.
Yeah, like
'cause
even
you-
the little
it would never
dickheads.
run out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like even the little dickheads shoveling into the pillowcase. They were
Right.
like,
They
they're-
couldn't,
feel like
they
that would
couldn't
be-
ruin it for everybody.
That
That's
would be
cool.
my method though. Like I'm not going to houses. I'm going to that house and I'm making 5 trips.
It's gonna be an early night. I got movies to watch.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
that's why they have security cameras, and they're gonna figure out where you live and kill you.
I'm trying to get home, watch Ernest Scared Stupid. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There's a good movie,
Wow.
a good scary movie, maybe.
Nice. Take too much
Premise
candy.
for yeah.
Mm.
And then he comes to kills you.
Yeah.
God. Straight to the take too much candy, I'm gonna kill your little ass.
Straight to the point. It's like a 7-minute movie. It's not.
It's a short film. Enter it into a couple of festivals.
There's a sign. There's a sign on the candy that says, "Don't take too much, or I'll come kill you." And some kid's like, whatever, and he takes too much. And then when he gets home, the dude's just in his house waiting on him. He kills him. Credits roll.
7-minute
and then
movie.
and then takes the candy back. Not only
And then someone
does
comes and kills him for taking too much.
Mm.
Plot Now we got our sequel.
only take one. That's the name of the movie.
Was it the Ring where you had to watch the movie and then give it to somebody else before you died?
I thought. I didn't watch
was
it.
that?
I don't know.
I feel like that's a combination of The Ring and a movie called It Follows. The Ring is where you watch the movie and then in 7 days you die. And
Just
like,
regardless, right?
regardless, yeah. And people just ended up finding the movie, and then It Follows is a movie that's like it's this thing that haunts you, but you get rid of it. It follows you no matter what, and you get rid of it by having sex with somebody else, and then it attaches onto them. It's the metaphor for like STDs, but it's a really creepy movie, and I feel like what you just said kind of is a mesh between those two.
So allegorical.
Yeah. Don't have sex or you're gonna die.
I could have sworn, like in The Ring, if you got someone else to watch the movie, she didn't come after you.
Maybe in like one of the sequels. I don't know.
Yeah, I thought maybe I am thinking of another movie, but there was a concept like that where like you watched it, but if you got someone else to watch it, she came after them and not you. I
saw the first one, and then I remember the second one specifically. There's a part where like they're almost attacked by a mob of like white-tailed deer. It's just odd. They're like even the deer look like this.
Angry deer.
And they're driving in the car, and she's like talking to the kid, and she like looks in front of her, and she like stops, and there's a mob of deer. They're like, she like gets out of the car, and then she's like, move on. Well, I say a mob because they're all looking at him like this,
and they're like,
yeah.
There's a mafia of deer.
Yeah. What a terrible movie.
One of them's got a cigar.
Yeah. What are you doing here? Speaking of trick-or-treating, we all had our favorite costume that we wore. Do y'all even remember the costumes that you wore each year?
I like how you just assume you're like, we all have our favorite costume. Do you have one?
You don't know me.
Sure.
I don't have a favorite costume.
You didn't have a favorite costume as a child that you wore?
No, I really don't remember.
You serious?
Yeah, I don't remember. I remember being like a ninja one time. I was a vampire. I don't remember. And Halloween never stood out to me.
You were one of those kids that dress exactly how you look now, walking around with a pillowcase, going trick or treat, you son of a bitch. You give me some candy.
I did have a year as I got older. There was a year I just put on a scream mask.
Oh yeah,
trick or treated in regular clothes. That was the last year I think I trick or treated. It was
something.
My favorite time I ever dressed up, I was an adult actually.
Oh, nice.
And I had a pretty killer Joker. I'll find a picture of it and we'll put it up on the screen. But I destroyed being Joker one year. A favorite costume as a kid? I don't have a favorite costume per se, but I remember my favorite time trick-or-treating. I had this goofy demon mask, a black cloak, and I had one of those knives that had the red liquid in it, so you could do that and it looked like the blood.
Yeah.
And so my brother would take me trick-or-treating. He was painted up like a zombie, sort of, and short sleeve, cut up shirt and cut up shorts. And he would run around in the street in front of the house that I was at, flailing around going the whole night. And what I was supposed to say at every house was when they asked, what are you supposed to be? I would go, I'm your biggest nightmare, but I'd always say it in a really lame way. And we did that all night, man. We had the best time just being stupid. What are you supposed to be? I'm your worst nightmare. You retreat. And he's in the background, and they're like peeking out. I'm like, do you know him? Like,
I'm your worst tweet. Happy nightmare.
Is there one that like you always wanted to be, but you just never ended up doing?
Smeagol.
Sure.
That'd be dope.
No,
I don't guess so.
I would always want to be something like really gruesome, and my parents being like semi like conservative Christians back then, they were like, we don't want you to dress up with anything, like super bloody or, gory or anything like that. Well, I was also like 9, but whatever. So I would go to like Party City or like the Halloween stores or whatever, and I would try and get like my mom to buy me like the prosthetics of like the cuts and the like the nails in the head, and then like stuff you had to like glue on your face. I think half the reason was she didn't want me to go out looking like that, or she didn't want to like help me like do it because it's like it's like spirit gum is what they called it, and I remember why it was called that, because it got like I had like a cut over my eyebrow or something like that, but it was so sticky that it got caught in my eyebrow hair, and I had to like rip it off, and like half of my eyebrow went missing after Halloween. And I remembered, I'm like, I'm never putting that on my face ever again. And that's why I remember.
When you were talking about being like conservative parents, like we don't want, Mom, I want to be the murdered hooker, please.
Yeah. Yeah, I always wanted to be like a dead person. Like a murder
Gosh.
victim. I always wanted to be like a murder
I need to
victim.
see a therapist.
I always wanted to be fucking dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys
Yeah.
ever just like, God, I want to be a dead person.
I just thought they were cool. I was, I'd seen a couple of horror movies, I guess, and I was like, oh,
I thought you guys say, I thought you were asking a couple of dead bodies.
I'd seen a couple of dead bodies by then, and I was like,
look like fun.
give me,
That's
let
the
me look like
coolest thing I've
that.
ever seen.
How can I do that?
Oh man.
Yikes.
I think my right now the thing I want to do most that I haven't done yet is I've got a guy that's going to make me a Deadpool costume, like movie quality.
Yeah, you've been talking about that.
Yeah, it's just it's unreasonably expensive, so I have
Yep.
to justify. I have to spend a little bit longer justifying it in my head, but
That's why I don't have
that's
a
gonna be dope.
life-size Boba Fett, because it's just stupid expensive.
Just
else
put
I'd
it in
have
the just put it in the background in the corner.
Right there.
Yeah.
I think having like a Spider-Man costume would be like an actual like movie quality Spider-Man. That would be
Yeah,
cool.
that was my
other
dream
than-
forever, and then I've become more of a Deadpool fan. So
and I
I'm
don't
thinking
feel like
next
that would be
Halloween.
overly expensive. Yeah,
You're too tall for Spider-Man, so shove off.
I am too small, too tall. Yeah,
I am too
It's,
small.
it would be a little strange now.
Well, I think once I get like if I didn't have the muffin top right now, because that would look pretty bad in a Spider-Man
Yeah,
costume.
that's what held me off too for Deadpool. I was like, I got to
Mhm.
justify. I can't be looking like Uncle Deadpool. You know what I mean?
Uncle Deadpool.
I gotta.
What the hell y'all
I
are
gotta
talking about? I put on a Spider-Man costume right now and running around.
He killed it too. Uncle Pool.
Uncle Pool. Yeah. So I think by next Halloween I'll be in exactly the shape I want to be in for it, and by then I think I will be able to justify.
Nice.
That's what you said last
spending-
Halloween.
I might have, but
So when you were talking about trick or treating, you said you started to say the houses. Like, did you ever hear the legends of the houses that gave out like good candy? Like, did you ever have the legends of the house like the scary houses that you didn't want to go to? Did you ever have one of those in the neighborhood where it was just like, don't go near that house?
yeah, there's a couple houses in my grandmother's neighborhood that were supposedly haunted that for real no one would go to. They would get all decorated for Halloween, but there was all this legend about this one house in particular, corner of Greer and is it Park? I think it was Park.
No, the corner. Holy shit. Okay.
Yeah, it was down the street from me, and it was like people moved in and out of that house every 3 or 4 months. Like no one could live in that house for years. It was very weird.
That is
And
weird.
as I got older, I always wanted to go in and check it out. I've had nightmares about that house.
Oh wow. Okay.
Dang.
Yeah, it was weird. It was weird, but yeah, it was wild, man.
Like you either have the houses that you're just like the house itself is scary, and then you have the ones where it's the people that live in the house where you're like, I don't want to go near there. I've never had that. I've always had houses that I'm like, there are older people that live there, and they're like, I don't know.
They give out popcorn balls.
Oh God. Not even popcorn balls. They just gave out little mini bags of popcorn. And they're like this big. They're
Little
like that
bags of
big.
pretzel sticks.
Yeah. It's like, what are you
We're
taking
gonna
for?
make the kids some homemade popcorn this year.
Those are the people you got to worry about. Forget the needles and the razor blades.
I'll chew on a needle for I'll eat your bullshit popcorn.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And then they gave one house gave me a toothbrush one year.
Yeah,
I
I've
was
had
like,
that.
I think
Little
I got a
kits,
toothbrush
and toothpaste. Yeah, like fuck you.
Like,
Yeah.
oh, that candy, you better have something to balance it out. I'm like, shove off, old man. I'll punch you in the.
Give me that 100 grand or I'm kicking your nuts.
Give me that Kit Kat,
Exactly.
old man.
Break me off a piece, or I'm breaking that hip.
Hell yeah.
Football cream.
So
Football cream?
It's an office.
it's
reference.
an office reference.
Oh, okay.
So you had the houses that you were scared of. What's the worst you've ever been like scared? Whether that be like jump scared or just like legit terrified. Like,
Oh yeah, I got a baller one.
all right, hit us
All right,
with it.
Have I? I don't know if I've talked about this already. It was when I fell asleep in
You've told this story before, but I don't think you've told it here
on the podcast.
I don't
Okay.
believe so.
So I moved out of my parents' house when I was like 18 or 19, and I lived with a buddy who was taking our utility money and not paying the utility bill. So the power got shut off. It was like midsummer, so I moved back with my parents. And at this point, they had bought a new house, but there wasn't an extra bedroom for me. My sister had a bedroom, my brother, my parents, and then my other sister. But there was a game room, like between my brother and sister's room upstairs. So I stayed in there on a futon. And I had no door. My sister had a door in her room, but then like on the other side was just the hallway, the stairs and stuff. So I had fallen asleep one night. I think someone left the bathroom light on. So when I fell asleep, my room was lit up. And I woke up in the middle of the night and it was pitch black. And my first thought was, all right, stay calm. You are buried underground in a box, but it is okay. We are going to get out. And I said that to myself, and then panic set in because I immediately put my hands up and I found the wall next to me. And I started beating on the wall, and I was like, help! Help! And then my dad comes running up the stairs with a bat. He's like, what's wrong? What's wrong? And I was like, nothing. I'm okay. And he was like, you sure? And I was like, yeah, I'm okay. I'm fine. And that was the extent of it. But that was literally the most scared I've ever been. Because I thought like my first thought was, I'm buried underground in a box and I'm gonna die. I don't know where it came from, but it was surreal. It was not fun.
I love that the thought was, you're in a box, but you're okay. You're gonna get out of this. It's just reassuring, just like thought, and then it's just like straight panic.
I have never hit anything as hard as I was hitting that wall. He came up those stairs so fast.
It's just that terror right out of like you're like, bet you were sleeping good too. Bet you're sleeping good to where you wake up in immediate terror, where it's just nothing else matters than getting out of here and being safe.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Just the instant, like, because it was immediate. I woke up and I was like, all right, I'm in a box. This really sucks. There was just no time between. But yeah, that was the most scared I've ever been.
That sounds pretty good. What do you got, Vengeance?
So the worst I've ever been jump scared. We were at my aunt's house, after like a holiday dinner or something, and we were loading up the car. I think it was Christmas because we were loading up gifts and stuff, and we were going back and forth, out to the car, back in the house, out to the car, back in the house, and the door is like on the immediate like side. It's not a duplex, but it's a very kind of close. Every house is like right next to each other.
Like a zero lot, yeah.
Yeah, okay. That's like the perfect way to describe it. And we were loading everything in, and I was just in a routine, and I was going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. And it was me and my dad, and my dad decided he just has like these like just these knee-jerk reactions. He's like, well, I need to scare the shit out of my son. And it doesn't matter like what I'm doing. He needs to be scared. So I went in, I put whatever we had in the car, and then I went inside. And then I was in such a routine, I didn't notice my dad wasn't there. So I got whatever was in the house, took it out to the car, turned around, and started to go inside the door, and my dad peeked around the side of the house, and he goes, "What are you doing?" I'm telling you, as a portly adolescent, that I've never jumped so high in my life. Where I thought I was gonna, I was like this, like about to touch, like the
door jam.
Yeah, and it scared the mess out of me to where, I was so young that I started crying. I started crying because it was just, it scared me so bad that I didn't have any other reaction other than than pure shock and terror.
Were you like
I don't.
12?
No,
He's
I
like
wasn't
19.
Yeah, it was a couple of years ago. I don't think I've ever had an experience to where I was okay. I mean, I guess it's the same kind of thing. We went to this is where I was like legit terrified. And I don't know if it was rational, but to me it was. We went to this camp in Missouri, and in the complete opposite extreme of a zero lot, every house was like 2 miles apart from each other. So we ended up
you were camping at someone's house?
No, this was before we went to the camp. Sorry.
Okay.
We were staying at the director's house. I know I'm shit at telling stories. Shut the fuck up.
No,
The
you're
director?
I'm laughing at him.
We were at the director's house. He kept giving me candy in the closet. I don't know what it was.
We were camping out in this guy's kitchen.
She wasn't the director of like the actual camp, but the program that was running, I guess. I don't know. I don't know what to call her. Either way. We were staying at her house, and she had left us there. This wasn't her house. I found out it was her aunt and uncle's house. And so she was like, I'm just going to leave y'all here and then come and get y'all in the morning. And we were like, oh, okay. So there's nobody else in the house? And she's like, no. So it was me and this other guy. And we were staying, and have y'all seen the movie?
This story. You were going to a camp and it was just you and another kid?
No.
Was the camp?
I guess I didn't preface this enough.
Me and Billy, we're going to summer camp. Just get.
Sorry. I when I tell stories, I assume that everybody else knows the details, and in my mind, like in my mind, I just tell it assuming everybody knows what the hell I'm talking about.
Man.
All right, so me and this guy were going to help be counselors at this camp that the director was running, and she needed somebody from Memphis. She needed her boys from Memphis to go and help in Missouri. So we went there. The next day, we were supposed to go to the actual camp where we would be staying.
Mm.
So we stayed at her aunt and uncle's house. Well, we had just watched the movie The Strangers, and this house looked oddly, like specifically just like that house. And I was like, okay, well, this is where we die. And it was, and I had psyched myself out so much that I legit thought that we were going to get murdered. And we were so convinced that we slept in the living room of this house face to face. And
Wait, you convinced the other guy that you
No.
you guys were going to get murdered too?
He was already
man,
like,
they're coming to get us.
He's like, what are you talking about? Are you serious? Are you serious? No, we were both pretty freaked out already. And then I had asked him if he had seen The Strangers, and he was like, yeah. I said, doesn't this house look very familiar? And he's like, oh no, why? Like, no. And so we were sleeping face to face like this, but he wouldn't sleep where I was because my feet were out in the hallway.
What the
It was a small living room.
I guess so.
Sleeping on the
Your goddamn
floor?
feet are in the other room.
And he
was this in Smurf Village?
I mean, that's what it felt like. It felt
You
like
got
my
one of
feet
your
were-
arms out the fucking window, your head's out the front door,
We were
foot's down the
sleeping-
hall.
We were sleeping lips to lips in this dollhouse. What is happening?
Anyway.
What is this? Your feet.
I mean, that's what it felt like. Because I felt like at any moment somebody was going to grab me by the ankles and drag me into the hallway to stab me in my throat.
This idiot wouldn't even look at me because my feet were in the hall.
I just felt that there was a murderer in the hallway that was ready to grab me by the ankles, drag me into the hallway, and then stab me full of holes.
Right.
And I had convinced myself, and I had psyched myself out enough to where I thought we were going to get murdered, and we weren't going to make it, but we did.
Luckily, you're here to tell the story.
Yeah.
Man. Yeah.
Oh man.
To tell that shit show of a story.
Sorry. I know that this happens often, but we're gonna have to pause. Something is wrong with my air, and I'm actually like my butthole. I'm sweating so bad. So let me go check that real quick. Leave it in.
All right. So Gigs, you got something? You got?
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I guess I've had a few jump scares. As far as like it's hard to remember the scaredest I've ever been. I don't remember a lot of times where I was just straight up terrified. There was once when I was in high school, I lived in southern Georgia, and we lived like out on the dirt roads, bright as hell.
That is bright.
We lived out in dirt roads, like way out in the middle of nowhere. And we had a good bit of land. And then my buddy would come over with his 4-wheeler, and we would ride it back into the woods, basically. And I mean, I'm talking uninhabited earth, right? There's nothing out here. It's woods, swamps, woods. And we would go back there and ride the 4-wheeler around and explore. And we rode out one afternoon, I guess around like 2 or 3. And we went far, dude, because every time we'd go a little bit further and try to find new stuff. And we went really far out one time, and he had a Honda Rancher, so it was like it was a big boy. It was a bad 4-wheeler, and so we would like, you know, we would get out there and go ham. So we were trying to drive through this area one time, and the mud's real deep, and we get stuck. And so we're trying to get it out. So we're like it's in there. I mean, like more than half the 4-wheeler is buried in mud. So it's like we're struggling. So we're trying to grab sticks and pry it out and pull it out. And we're like waist deep in this mud. And at one point, we've been out here for a few hours. So the sun's kind of starting to go down. It's starting to get dark. And we're like, we're way too far to walk back. And we can't just leave the 4-wheeler here. We got to get this thing out. So we're doing it. And I'm pulling, and he goes, "What the fuck is that?"
Oh no.
And he looks over, there's a little girl's shoe out here. And when I say uninhabited earth, there is nothing for miles. We're out here, and there's a little girl's shoe. And he's like, "We got to get this fucking thing out of here." So we're trying. Now we're a little bit more frantic about it. We're like, we got to get it out. So we stop for a minute to take a break. And in the middle of a break, we're not looking at each other. We both hear a little girl laugh. And at the same time, we both go at each other. He takes his foot. He's wearing these boots. He takes his foot, jams it under the tire, and revs as hard as he can. And it just launches like he puts his foot under the back tire for traction.
Yeah.
And it launches it out of the thing. And we hop on full speed driving home. We almost died probably 3 or 4 times because he's whipping around. And that thing will go like 50 miles an hour. And that was probably the most like intense. And it was so weird because neither one of us said, like, "Did you hear that?" or anything. We both heard it.
Oh my God.
And both were like just a sink. It's like, and he just grabs it, shoves his foot in the mud, and goes, "Ah," because it hurts. But it like grabbed his foot for traction and shot the 4-wheeler out, and we were gone. But that's one of the more like intense moments. And there was a buildup. Like, one, we're out here in the woods. It's starting to get dark. We don't know how we're going to get out of here. We don't want to be in the woods at night alone. Then we see the shoe. So now it's starting to get a little bit weirder, a little more intense. And then we both heard that little girl laugh. Like, we got to get the fuck out of here now. Like,
golly. You said, I don't know if there's ever been a time that I was legit terrified other than we thought we heard a dead little girl laugh. In the deep woods.
Yeah. Good I mean, that definitely stands out. But
that's crazy.
And then I've had some good... I've probably given a lot more good jump scares than I received.
Same, yeah.
I'm kind of a dickhead with the jump scares. I think you're muted. You good?
How about now?
Yeah, there you go.
Now you're good. Yeah, I've given some good jump scares.
I gave kind of a dickhead.
Yeah. One of my best was Dom. I scared the life out of Dominic one time, man. We were so this is when my brother and Clutch and Nelson's mom were together. We were living together, and Dom was over visiting. And the house is set up in kind of a U. So like you come in the front door and it splits off. And to the left is the bedrooms, and then to the right is like a dining room, a kitchen, living room, right?
Okay.
So we were in the living room. We were going to go back to the bedrooms and play. There's this little hallway, bathroom, and then bedrooms. So it's, I'm calling them Chris, Ryan, Gabby. I don't care. They were in front. I was behind. So I cut off into the bathroom and get into the shower. And the shower curtain's closed. And Dom's on his way. So he's walking by, and I just make a little bit of a noise, just enough for him to hear. So he's walking by, and I make the noise, and he does like a look, and he starts to leave, and I make another noise. And like, so now he wants to investigate. So he comes in, and he's like up against the wall, like scaling. And he's reaching out for the shower curtain real slow. And you know how loud shower curtains are, right?
Oh, yeah.
So he's reaching out, and I mean, he's not an inch away from the shower curtain. And I just smack it real hard, go, ah! And he goes from this, and he is gone. I don't see him move. He just disappears. He ran all the way back around the house to the living room instead of into the bed. He ran... So I'm crawling out of the bathroom laughing already. So I crawl my way into the kitchen. And straight ahead, he's on the couch hugging his knees, rocking.
Gosh.
And I go, "You all right, bud?" And he goes, "Mm-hmm."
How old was he?
Probably, I don't know, 11, 12, something like that. Maybe 10, somewhere around there.
The back against the walls went like.
Yeah, he's like scaling real slow. He's like down, he's reaching, and then he just vanishes.
That's incredible.
Oh,
So good, man. One of my favorites.
I can just hear him go.
He's hugging his knees, rocking.
I got vengeance one time when he was in the shower. Do you remember that? When you were living with your aunt, you had like a wolf mask or something in your room.
Oh, F you, dude. I completely forgot about that.
He put it. I put it on while he's in the shower, and I opened the door. I made it obvious. I opened the door, and I see him look over the top. He said, "Hey, get out!" Ah!
Because I looked over just so you can see this half of my face.
He said, "Hey, get up!" Ah! That was pretty good.
Same house. Tracy got me pretty good one time where it was middle of the night, went to the bathroom, and then I came out and she had her hair in front of her face and she was just standing in the doorway like this. It was at an hour when nobody should have been awake at that point. And she, oh my God, she had got me so bad. And I almost went into like an Achro, like, I'm going to hit you mode. To where like his just knee-jerk reaction is to just throw your fists up. I've never been in a fight or hit anybody with my fist in my life, and I swear I almost decked my aunt in the jaw.
I almost choked a chicken. Punched a chicken one time.
Oh, okay.
One time.
At the corn maze.
We went to a haunted corn maze, and it was like at the end too, which is I guess funny or worse, I don't know, but we're walking through and it's all open now, like the corn maze is opening up, and we're walking by and this chicken just comes out of the corn, and he's like, and I got like probably a few inches away from his face.
It's just the fact that it's a chicken and wasn't like Michael Myers or Leatherface or anything like that. This chicken goes, he goes,
the chicken's like, "What's your fucking problem, dude?"
Yeah, my boss scares me like 3 times a month. I'll come out of the bathroom and he's hanging out like in his office or the like conference room, and he'll just pop out and say, "How'd it go?" And every time I'm like, at some point, I'm gonna hit you in the chin, and I'm not gonna feel bad, and you can't fire me.
Keep you on your toes, man.
Yeah.
I used to I used to jump scare my granny a lot.
Oh God,
I
I'm
remember
always
you
scared to do that, dude.
talking
I'm
about
always
that.
scared to do that.
As I got older, I realized, you know, the dangers of it. But I got some real good ones on her, man. There was the best jump scare I've ever given of all time was her. And my brother was teaching me a lot of different things. He was really heavily into ninjutsu for a while, so he was teaching me some stuff. And one of them was like how to throw your voice. So I was practicing how to throw my voice, right? So the way that exactly. So kitchen, the way the house is, it's like kitchen, little dining room, sort of living room, and then rest of the house. She's in the kitchen, I'm in the dining room under the table, and then the bedroom. So I do the little thing, throw my voice, and she thinks I'm in the bedroom. And I just go, Granny. And for whatever reason, she heard that and thought I was in trouble. And I didn't know that beforehand, but she's already a little distressed because she thinks there's something wrong. So she goes back there and I can hear her look and she goes, Jonathan. So now she thought something was wrong and now she can't find me. So she's already on edge, right? So she's walking back. God. She's walking back to the kitchen. And I reach out and grab her foot.
Oh God.
And I go,
Oh no.
She jumps back into the china cabinet.
Oh.
She goes, Lord Jesus.
Like a shit.
Damn
Kick you. in the
you.
face.
Oh my God.
She was flustered for the.
Dude, the pig noise gets him every time, dude.
So
The
it
pig
was
noise
so.
gets him every time.
At least
So
she didn't
intense,
go
man.
like, Ready, please help.
Yeah. So that was like Hall of Fame level. And then another one of my favorites, and then we'll move on, was the way her bedroom was set up. She used to lay like with her head at the foot of her bed and watch TV at night. And right up in front of her to the right was a closet. So she'd have the door, like the closet door and the bedroom door would meet when they opened. So she'd leave them open all the time. She'd never close either one of them.
Mhm.
And she had coats hanging up on the closet door. So the closet door is kind of facing her, right? So I'm like, it's like 3 feet from her face. So there's a pile of laundry that I can stand on, and she's got this long coat hanging at the door. So I get up and get in the coat before she goes in there to watch TV one night. And you talk about patience. I was psychopath level patient. If I was trying to get a jump scare, I would sit in there
coat like this.
I would sit there for a half hour just waiting for her to come in the room, and then I'd let her get comfortable.
45
Yeah,
minutes.
I'd let her get comfortable for 10 or 15 minutes, like let her guard come down.
That's so good.
So I'm in the jacket, and the lights are off, but the TV's on, so the glow is going towards her, so I'm kind of in the dark, and so I'm like, and she's like watching TV. Her move was like, and she'd look and peer, and then she'd go back to watching TV, and I know you're in there, but she doesn't know where. So finally I make enough noise, she decides to get up and investigate, because she kind of still really thinks I'm in the other room. She doesn't know. So she comes out to check it, and I just grab her from the coat.
Oh my God.
Could you imagine the panic? Like, this coat got me. Oh
yeah, I was super elaborate. I used to like get up under her pillows, ball up under her pillows, and wait on her to get comfortable with it. I don't know, dude. I was a monster.
You just
I used to,
reminded
like,
me.
put pins like under her bed so that when she
God. My dad has the best one that I've ever heard, and it was when he was younger with his sisters. I got one more. This is the ultimate for me. So when him and my aunts were younger, living in the house, he would always scare him, and that's how he kind of graduated to scaring me and my brother half to death. But he told me about a time where one of his sisters was reading in a bed, and her bed was backed up against the window upstairs in her room. And this man told me his room was next to hers. So he told me he got out of his window, shimmied on the outside of the house to her room. She was sitting in her bed reading, and he went to her window while she was upstairs, and he shimmied up next to it, and then he reaches around and grabs her by the throat
Jesus Christ.
Grabs her by the throat, says nothing whatsoever. Let's go. And then
Oh my
shimmies
God,
back
dude.
across the outside of the house back to his room. And he just goes about his business. He just goes about his business and is hanging out in his room. I swear to God, he's moving around the house and outside of his room for like an hour and a half. And he goes back in my aunt's room and she is sitting there with a book in her hands going for an hour and a half.
Oh my God, dude.
And
That's next level.
and
Gotta
he
respect that.
walks in her room, sees her like that, and he goes, "Oh," like he had forgot what he just did.
Oh yeah.
He goes, "Oh yeah," and then told her what had happened. And
I mean, I don't blame her.
Yeah,
I would have like released all the urine from my body. I would have pissed my pants and just sat there in fear. I wouldn't have told anybody ever.
it was just the fact that he just didn't say anything and then let
Yeah.
go and then just went about his business. That was the
God,
ultimate.
that's so.
That's intense, man.
Yeah.
I used to try to scare Chris and Ryan sometimes, but they're the most. That's pretty good.
That was good.
They were
It's
the,
just like
the
that.
most spineless, no courage. I would get in the closet. Chris would redirect his path for the day. Like he would have plans for the day and rearrange his whole day to avoid having to investigate. I'd be in the closet and he'd want to come into the bedroom and like play Madden or something for the rest of the day. And I would just like scratch the door on the closet and he would like walk in and it would go and he would just turn around and walk out. He wouldn't jump. He just like pretending like he didn't hear it, would just turn around and walk out. And then I would wait. And after about 20 minutes or so, I'd give up and I go downstairs. He'd just be chilling on the couch watching TV. I'm like, really?
You're like, hey man, I thought you were gonna
You
play
know
Madden.
it's me.
No, I don't
Just
like-
open
I
the
don't-
door.
Yeah, I don't like Madden anymore. I'm not into that.
Yeah, it's just the most casual, like walk in the room, just turn around and walk out. I'll do something else today. I don't care.
I didn't have the patience to wait on people. Like I would hide, and after like 10 minutes, I'd go, "Hey," and like come in here, trying to scare you.
Yeah.
Hey.
It would always be like if we were playing like hide and seek even, and I had to hide in a spot for more than 10 minutes, I'd always have to pee. Always. And I would give up my spot to go because I was like, I'm gonna piss my pants. I wasn't dedicated enough to just piss my pants in my hiding spot.
I couldn't play hide and seek with my mom because my mom would be like, "You want to play hide and seek?"
No,
And I'd say,
no, absolutely.
"No, I
not.
don't." She'd go, "I'll be first," and then turn the lights off. And then she'd run. She would run and hide somewhere, and I could be going, "Mom," and then she would scare me every freaking time.
Yeah,
I
Dad
hated
did
it
that.
so
he would
much.
always go. You want to go play outside in the dark hide and seek? It'd be at
Yeah.
night. He'd go, "You want to play hide and seek?" I'd be like, "Yeah, let's just play in the house, whatever." He's like, "No, we're going outside." So I'm like,
You know, play in the
No.
house though, Dad.
yeah.
It's like my mom had all the breakers on a switch, and somehow everything would just turn off.
You want to play hide and seek?
Pretty sure she like hit the dryer one time.
oh my god.
It was the most scary thing.
So Gigs, you live in New York. I've heard they have like crazy good like haunted houses there.
I don't know. I haven't been to one. I've been to some good parties. There's people that go ham for Halloween parties. I haven't been to a haunted house here yet, though.
I mean, we have one major one here, in Memphis that I don't.
Is it Westwood?
No,
They still doing that one?
I haven't heard of that one.
Dude, Westwood
just
used to be
sounds
like
scary. I
the
don't know.
legendary one.
Yeah.
Super
Well, there's
intense,
always that
yeah.
one that everybody talks about where they're like, you have to sign a waiver before you go in, and you
Yeah.
make it to a certain point, and you get your money back or something like that, where it's like too scary to handle. But the ones that we have here have always just been like, decorated up, and people jump out from behind things. And
Yeah,
you know.
it's
We had
hard.
a pretty good one in Cordova, didn't we?
That was the Haunted Web of Horrors thing. So they had the corn maze, and then they
Yeah.
had the one where it was like the 3D like neon clown thing, and then there was the mental
God,
hospital,
no clowns.
and then there was just like they would change one up every year and do like 3.
I'm just not fun to go with because I don't want to be scared. So as I'm walking through, I'm going, "That's a girl dressed up like a nurse, no big deal." And then I'm going, "That's a clown. I'm not even. It's a clown. Not scared of that dude." I just like reassuring myself
or
so
you
that I
just
don't
throw
get
hands.
freaked out.
Yeah,
Or-
or you just try and throw hands with everybody.
Yeah, I have a hard time getting like immersed in it. It's fun to go see, but I'm usually just walking through appreciating the effort.
Yeah.
Right.
Rather than like, like, oh wow, that looks really good, and someone will jump out, and I'm like, that's a good jump scare, nicely done.
Or like the
And then we get to the-
chainsaws.
Yeah. And then the chainsaw guy at the end that you're supposed to run from, I just can't do it.
He's
I
like,
can't do it. I know. I feel like such a dick because it's like I know it looks like I'm trying to be cool and tough, and that's not it. It's just like I just can't do that, dude.
I'm trying to keep
I'm not
myself
immersed.
sane.
I'm not immersed in it like that.
You've always got
But
that
it looks
one-
great. You're doing a great job, man.
You've always got the one cool kid that's like, "Hi," when they like walk up to the scary things.
Yeah.
Something jumps out and they're like, "Oh, hi."
But inside he's going, "Ah!"
You see him like react and he's like, "Hi."
My brother worked at there was this amusement park in Georgia I think it was called Wild Adventures, and it was a theme park, a zoo, and something else, a water park. And at Halloween they
Dang.
would take
That's
a big
dope.
section of it and like turn it into this Halloween town. And he was a character there that would like guide you into the haunted house, and he would never break character when he was there. And he would pick out the guys in the crowd that he could tell were like too cool and tough to be
Yeah.
scared.
Yeah.
And he would go so hard into character and like just be in their space and try to break them before they went into the house. They'd be like, "Look, dude, I know this is not real." Like, he would just go. He would take it so far that he would make them like
God,
just look down and like.
that
know
sounds like
you're
so
not
much fun.
real.
Yeah,
He
that
he
sounds
loved
like
it,
so
man.
much fun.
It was so cool, and it
Golly.
would piss me off because I'd go to pick him up at night, and there'd be no one around, and I'd go up to him and I'd be like, "How's it been tonight?" And he'd talk to me in character, and like, "Dude, fucking stop!
Turn it off.
Just me
Turn it
here
off."
right now."
Yeah,
Yeah, he wouldn't turn it off until he was off the clock though.
that's funny.
I don't. Damn it.
He just gets like the ticks, like, "Whoa." Sorry.
He'd be like, "How's it been tonight?" And he'd be like, "Oh," and I'd just walk away. Like, I'm not doing this tonight, man. But it was dope. Like, it's
Can't
dope.
turn it off,
He's
yeah.
very method with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. How was work, man? Ooh.
yeah,
Like,
good
all right, cool.
night.
I'll be in the car, man.
I don't know who your brother is. We actually made one, like a haunted house, at my aunt's house, and we had like folks lining up like
It was good.
to the driveway.
We should have
Where-
charged money.
Really?
For it.
Yeah. We did didn't we do like a donation or something? Some kind of donations?
I don't remember. We did it twice, didn't we?
Yeah. There was one year where it really popped off, where we'd gone. There's a portion of it that's outside, and then it was set up so perfectly where the garage was kind of offset
Yeah.
from the fence to where there's a fence that you could go around the side of the garage and then wrap around the back and then come through. And there was a whole like gate portion there that we had done up for the outside, and then you go in the garage and then come out of the garage.
Which
And
it was so well done because the garage, it's just like a normal 2-car garage, but it was like 3 different turns in the garage.
that we
It
had
was-
like put up like
yeah.
chain link fences, and like we had sectioned it off to where you had to go a certain way and run into things. And
And
man,
the lighting, I mean, God, that's probably got to be one of the most like legit haunted houses like setups in a home.
and
It was so good.
I'd never seen anything like that as a kid, to where like could go through one in your neighborhood. There was one in Bartlett that people would go to, and they'd be, they charge like $5-10, but we never like actually did it one year. But we decided to actually make one, and people were like trick-or-treating and seeing what we were doing and going through, and then going and telling their friends, and they would come back through with them.
Yeah.
And we had folks lined up like past the driveway, like on the sidewalk and stuff. It was super cool.
So did you?
Nice.
I would imagine you told the people that we knew, because people we knew were showing up, and I was like, "What? How did you get here?"
There were some that I was like, "What are y'all doing here?" Like, I know y'all.
Oh, we
don't
heard about
live
this
around
crazy
here.
haunted house.
Yeah. And they came through, and I was like, "What are y'all doing here? I know y'all don't live around here." And they were like,
Hey,
they
speech.
told us- no,
Yeah.
man, it was awesome. We had a really good time with it. But I don't think I've ever been inside a haunted house like a haunted house that was put on that scared me enough to where I was like, I don't want to do that again because I'm scared. I've never had that.
I don't think I have either.
Yeah, but I've always heard of the ones that they make you sign a waiver where you just like most people don't go through with it, and it's like $35, and if you make
Yeah.
it through, you like get your money back. But you sign a waiver because they're like allowed to touch you and stuff.
Yeah,
And
I was
Touch your
gonna,
butthole.
there was one that got real famous a couple years ago, and it was the big deal was that like no one, Marine Green Berets are quitting halfway through because it's so
Right.
intense. But they're allowed to like touch you and restrain you, and it sounded like a little bit over the top intense. Like
Yeah.
they torture you for real and shit. It's like
Yeah.
That dude's in there getting
whip somebody's
waterboarded
ass in
right
his
now.
haunted house, man.
Yeah.
See, there's wanting to experience like a supernatural encounter, but then there's another thing where you're like, you know what, I want to see what it's like to get murdered.
Right.
And tortured. I want to get to the point where I want to die, but they won't kill me.
God.
It's I've always heard of that one that's like you got to go to Nashville to do it, and I'm like, I've never heard of anything like that, and I've tried to even look them up,
Yeah.
but that's like it's like to the extreme, like the you want to buy a pool pass for the school, you want to buy a pool pass, like it's not a legit thing. I don't think it's like when the typical like senior, like, hey, you want to buy a pool pass?
Oh, I was
For the
like,
high
bro,
school?
did our school have a pool? I don't
No,
remember.
I was
that.
like,
You were one of those kids that they probably could have sold one to.
I never had a pool pass. I got maybe a hall pass.
Oh yeah, they try and sell you like a fake piece of paper. They're like, we don't have a pool, you idiot.
You
It's
just
like,
gave me $6, stupid.
I'm gonna buy 2 chicken sandwiches today at lunch.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever had an experience like that to where
Hot coffee's cool.
I don't want to go back through.
Yeah. I don't
yeah.
think so. I'm too like, it's too tough.
Yeah, I'm just I
It's
just
curse.
yeah.
It's a curse. Yeah. Why do you look so tan and we both look so pale? I guess it's the lighting.
Me?
Yeah.
Uh,
agitates
Yeah, I guess.
I don't know. My complexion is
I'm pretty
don't-
white as it is.
yeah.
Well, yeah, you're
that's
not
my
much
complexion.
darker than me, though. No.
Yeah.
Shut up.
I don't know. Anyway, that's kind of all I got. Y'all got anything else?
I hate Halloween. So,
No. Okay.
What'd you say?
what?
You hate Halloween. Okay. I think you said you hate Holloway. I was like, what the Max Holloway?
I hate when I'm like sleeping with some dude and my feet are out in the hallway.
God. This,
I
this
can't
gonna
wait.
be.
I can't wait to see the comments on that one.
I'm just not even gonna read them.
Gotta clip that whole part out.
I'm not
Oh man.
I'm not made for the internet. I can't do it.
No, I'm not. Douchebag 69. This is
I'm up
just
in the
replying
comments
to
like,
every negative comment.
as a matter of fact.
Oh,
All right.
Why
man.
is douchebag
Yeah.
69 the first thing that
Yeah, I don't know.
came to my mind as a YouTube handle? Speaking of douchebags, I don't know. if
Cherry
you-
Popper 420?
Oh gosh. Somebody on Twitch, I think they're in your stream, Jay, or maybe I don't know whose stream are they in. Maybe it's in my clan. I don't know. I've seen the name. It's Ladies Man 4227 or whatever
Gang, gang.
You know
That's
what
my
the-
that's my
from the-
alt account.
from the original Transformers. I was like, that's dope. I like that. That's dope.
Oh.
Hmm.
Who?
You don't remember the original Transformers where like the the cop one pulls up. He's like, "Are you Ladies Man 4227 or whatever?"
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. good.
That's stupid. What a good movie that you don't remember. You're stupid.
I mean,
Anyway,
it's okay.
What I was gonna say,
it's called Transformers.
in stream the other night, we had the lighting set to pink, and somebody changed it to pink. And I was like, I think I'm tired of the pink. I'm gonna change it, even though nobody's redeemed it. I'm gonna change it to something. So I changed it to like orange, and then Deep hit a redeem for a color change. I was like, oh, okay, cool, Deep. Yeah, what do you want? He said, pink. Freaking douche.
Change it back.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh
man.
man, I don't know what made me think of that. Douchebag 69. That's what made me think of that.
Here you go.
All right,
Anyway,
plug it up. What we got?
plug it up. That's what
Plug
she
it
said.
in, plug it in. Shit, now we'll get claimed.
Great.
You
Way to
sang
go.
it. You sang it pretty good too. So they.
I know. Pitch
This
perfect.
podcast is brought to you by Febreze? Glade?
Glade
What is
plug-in.
that?
There you go. There you go.
What a great ad.
This podcast is brought to you by Smells Good.
I'm Ron Burgundy?
Oh.
Dude, that's such a good scene. The car was going real fast and I was feeling pretty good. Sorry, I don't know what to do with my hands.
Said it was like a spaceship.
Anyway,
All right, yeah. I reckon we're good.
Yep.
same old same. Twitch.
Yep.
We're all on
Yeah,
Twitch.
You know,
Just come
you all
find
know
us.
who we are by now.
Capital Vengeance.
Capital Vengeance. All right. Show us
right.
your tongue. You got the weird tongue again?
The weird
Got
what?
the weird what?
Tongue. Your tongue has been orange the past 2 podcasts.
Hmm.
Why?
Yeah, it's orange again. I've got an orange.
Like, what are you
candy.
doing?
Before every podcast, I just rub my tongue with it. I guess it's the coffee tinting it. Maybe the.
Do you have like orange
Uh,
creamer in your coffee?
I guess maybe the creamer could be tinting it a certain color.
Also,
or
why
something.
is this
the line in the
tongue is
middle?
Also, yeah, your tongue. It's like like in a
Yeah.
it looks like it's broken.
Yeah, I know. I don't know what that's about.
Like you've got like stuck between tearing and rejuvenating constantly. Just a perpetual. All right. Anyway.
Rejuvenating. You mean regenerating? What is
Regenerating.
happening?
Sorry. Sorry. Rejuvenating. Your tongue is so rejuvenating.
Oh my God! Let's get the hell out of here. Gang, gang.
Peace it up. See ya
See ya.
later.
Later.